Hello. In this video, let us look at different types of spaces and how the state of a system is specified. Here we assume that the physical system obeys general laws of dynamics. Those are Hamilton's equations of motion given by equation 1. Qi dot is equal to dou h by dou pi, pi dot is equal to minus dou h by dou qi. And here pi's and qi's are a generalized momenta and generalized coordinates respectively, and h is a Hamiltonian, which is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy for a conservative systems, that is where energy of a system is remaining constant. The Hamilton's equation of motion have got its own importance, because here Hamiltonian, which is a property of a system, it is expressed in terms of generalized coordinates and generalized momenta, and these generalized momenta are a conjugate momenta. Those are not a something else. They are associated with these generalized coordinates. You have learnt already generalized momenta and generalized coordinates, and what is the relation between them in a classical mechanics. That's why they have got a lot of importance. And Hamilton's equation of motion, this is true in both the classical mechanics and quantum mechanics. That's why the this Hamilton's equation of motions are considered as a most general equations of motion. And if a system, let us consider a system consisting of one particle and it is moving in a straight line. Its position and momentum at any time convey the state of a system through Hamilton's equation of motion. As a particle moves on, the state will also change, because its position will change. Its momentum may remain a constant, but its position will change. That's why the state will change. And the evolution in time is represented by trajectory in a plane with the coordinates and momentum. And since here the particle is only one and it's moving in a straight line, we have to represent its position and momentum. Therefore here we consider two-dimensional coordinate system, and here one axis, and here we consider two orthogonal axes. Orthogonal axes have got some advantage in a future calculations. And here one axis is taken as a q and another one as a p, and here it is only one particle. And as the time goes on, the particle will change its position and its momentum may change, may not change. Hence the particle will trace a path in this space, position and momentum space, and this position and momentum space is called as a phase space. At any instant of time, this is a position, and the position of a particle, which is telling about a state of a system. And this state is known as, and this point is known as a phase point. As the time passes, this particle changes its position or momentum, so it traces a path with the time, and this path is called as a phase path. And every point in this phase space represents a state of that system consisting of one particle. But in order to specify the state of a system, in practice, this phase space is divided into smaller cells, smaller and very very small, and cells of same size, with the its width and height given by dq into dq and dp. This is, since this is q, this is dq, the width of a cell, if you consider, that is dq, and height of a cell is dp. Okay, I'll take slowest space. This is dp, and all these cells are of same size and they are very very small cells. In a classical mechanics, any small is allowed, because here we don't have a uncertainty principle. Here the cell can be of a very very small size, and if you take the product of dp into dq, it can be of the order of 10 raised to minus dq into dp. If I take a product of this, which represents the area of this small cell, it can be of the order of 10 raised to minus 40, 10 raised to minus 50. That is also allowed in a classical mechanics. That cell is divided into smaller and smaller, very small, so that very small change in the position or very small change in the momentum of a particle will put that particle into different cell. So it will be put in a different cell. Very small change in the position or momentum. If it is changing only position, it will go on changing its horizontal position. It will go to one after the other cell in a horizontal line. If it doesn't change its position and it changes only velocity, then it will be a vertical line, like this. And very small change will put into different cell. Now we can specify the state of a system by specifying the cell of the phase space, by specifying or telling the in which cell the particle is there. We can specify the state of a system. We can specify the cell by giving it like 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4, so on, specifying the cell. This is 0 0 1 1 cell I can consider. This is 1 2 1 3 1 4, so on. And if I move vertically, 1 1 2 1 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4 1 5, so on and so on. I can specify in any of the pattern. This is how a system consisting of one particle which is moving in a straight line is represented. But our system need not be consisting of only one particle, or the one particle that may not be moving in a straight line. It may be moving in any of the direction. It may be moving freely in a space. And at that point, we require a 3 position coordinates to specify the position of a particle. But these 3 position coordinates, which may be qx, qy, qz, or qr, q theta, q phi, which are generalized coordinates. It depends on which are our generalized coordinates. And these position coordinates specify only the position of a system. And if I am considering only a Cartesian system, there I am representing these this particle moving, I can specify only its position, nothing about its motion. Then we can tell about only momentum. If we specify the momenta coordinates, then it is telling only about a motion. And if I consider a space of momenta, then it will tell only about a motion and nothing about a position. Hence, we cannot completely specify the state of a system. In order to specify the state of a system completely, we require both position and momenta, position coordinates and momenta coordinates. Position and momenta both are required to specify the state of a system completely. Hence, it is done in a 6-dimensional space where the 3 coordinate axes are representing a position of a system and 3 coordinate axes are representing a 3 momenta components of a particle. And such a 6-dimensional space is called as a mu space. And here every point in this 6-dimensional space represents a state of a system. And similarly, as we divided a 2-dimensional phase space into smaller cells, we can divide this 6-dimensional mu space into smaller cells. And now this smaller cell has got a bigger dimension. Now that cell has got some volume, and the volume of each cell is given by d mu is equal to dq into dqx into dpx, dqy into dpy, dqz into dpz. And here we consider the product of dq and dp is equal to h naught, and its dimension is that of energy and time. The dimension of dq into dp is that of energy into time, or that is a action. Hence, the volume element of each cell in a mu space is equal to h naught raised to 3, and its dimension is cube of the dimension of energy and time, or cube of a action. Here in a phase space, the small cell has got a area h naught is equal to dq into dp, and dq into dp is equal to energy into time. This is about mu space, which is required for a particle freely moving in a space. That too, one particle freely moving in a space. But in practice, we have a system consisting of large number of particles. And if we have a system consisting of n number of particles, then we require 6 n-dimensional space to represent state of such a system. And in this 6 n-dimensional space, there are 3n generalized coordinate axis and 3n generalized momenta axis. Total together there are 6n coordinate axis. Hence it is a 6n dimensional space. For a system consisting of n number of particles, to represent a state of a system, we require 6 n-dimensional space wherein 3n coordinates are representing a position of a particles and 3n number of coordinates representing a momenta of a particles. Such a 6n dimensional space is called as a gamma space. This gamma space consists of n number of mu spaces because there are 3n number of coordinate axis and 3n number of momenta axis. And as we earlier represented state of a system by specifying a cell in a space, and cell is a smaller unit of a space. Here also we divide a gamma space into smaller cells and of a same size. And now there is a volume element in this gamma space, and volume of that smaller cell is equal to dq1 into dq2 so on up to dq3n into dp1 into dp2 and so on up to dp3n, and this is equal to h naught raised to 3n because h naught is equal to dq into dp, and you can insert a subscript to all those things. And now the dimension of this volume element in a gamma space is that of a 3 raised to n of the dimension of energy into time. Hence, phase space is a two-dimensional space wherein the one coordinate axis we have and one momentum axis we have. And in a mu space, there are 6 coordinate axes. 3 are position coordinate axis and 3 are a momenta coordinate axis. And in a gamma space, we have a 6n number of coordinate axes. 3n coordinate axes are representing a positions of a particles, and 3n coordinates are representing a momenta of a particles. This is about a phase space, mu space and gamma space. Gamma space consists of n number of mu spaces. And now I'll stop at this point.